Do.
We live.
Ready? All right. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back, everybody, to another wonderful episode of Banter on the Rocks. Got myself Tim here today and John as always. And today is Monday, June 29th, and we have another loaded episode for all of you. And if this is your first time here checking out the show, welcome to the chaos. And everyone who taps in each and every week with us, we appreciate all the support more than you'll ever know. And please make sure to hit that follow, subscribe button, turn on notifications on so you never miss a weekly drop from the boys. And on today's episode, we're going to be getting into several things. We are going to start off with our banter takes, move into our WOLFPAck World Cup check-in as we do each and every week. It's becoming a longer segment every week, and I love it. And summer movie bash check-in and NBA news, and of course much more as always. And you already know how we do it. Real conversations, unfiltered opinions, questionable takes, and plenty of banter along the way. And like we do every single week, we'll be kicking things off with our banter drink of the week, what we're sipping on, why we picked it, and how it's carrying the energy for today's show. I'll get us started. I always think back to this, Sean, like 3 weeks ago, I was like, I'm going to be on a health kick. Made West had a variety pack available at Costco this weekend, and it was only $20. And I'm like, yeah, that's a freaking deal. So I sniped it right off of the shelf there. And today I am having that blue can, the Pale. Made West, please just hit us up. We'll come in just even for a little sampler. One of these weekends would be a great time. But anyways, love the beer. Haven't had a bad one yet. It's great.
Good. Oh yeah, that's good. I was at Topa Saturday. They have an I think it's limited because you couldn't buy it, but a Copa Topa. I think, for the World Cup, it had like different hops from like, I think it was like 7 or 8 different like regions of the world. So really good, tasty beer. So don't have that with me today, but had that on the weekend. Shout out Topa as well, another Ventura County brewery.
Very nice.
But this week I am sticking with the classic. I am sticking with Squirt with tequila, doing a little just margarita mix, you could say. But I'm using, for good luck for tomorrow, my Jimenez Cup. Got Mexico coming up, so
nice.
Drinking out of that one today.
Very nice. Yeah, great game tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, good games. But that's our drinks for the week. And we'll go into our banter takes. So this is our takes of the week. No prep, no warnings, no idea what's coming next. Each week we bring our hottest take to the table without telling each other beforehand. So every reaction, every disagreement, and every meltdown is completely real. Some takes will be smart, some takes will be terrible, and at least one of us will probably upset an entire fan base. So we'll get into our takes. My first take: GTA 6 is everything Dwight Schrute could have ever envisioned in Second Life and Second Life. Yeah, everything I've been hearing about GTA 6 is insane. All the rumors, just everything that's included, and there's some rumors too. I would say maybe I'm questioning a little bit. But I think all the hype that's been living around GTA is finally here, and it looks legit. I think it's actually going to be a good game. It's probably going to be a little bit more expensive than a lot of us probably would have wished it was, but I think it'll be worth it. Dwight Schrute, I'm trying to get the reference from the show.
I'll fill you in on it. Just because I know a lot of these, like, not everybody's going to be, as big of an Office fan as I am. I haven't watched it in a while though. But one of my favorite things in the show was Dwight Schrute. I think he got like a little bit depressed in one of the episodes. I forget exactly what it was. Maybe like Angela moved on from him. I forget what it was. But he like, I guess there's like this video game that he played on his computer called Second Life. And then in Second Life, he made his character make another life. So he played a video game in a video game. So it was Second Life to fall further into the realm of gaming.
Yeah, yeah, and I think we're gonna fall into the further game of realm with GTA, with all this stuff. I'm hearing the rumors that you have to buy the expensive edition to get some barbershops, or else the barbershops won't let you go in and cut your hair. You need to have a fresh cut in that game. You need to change it up. You need to dye it to your clan color. So a lot of us are gonna put our life into that, and it's gonna be our personality, our game character, including the cars, the colors. So yeah, I think everything GTA 6, what we've been expecting, it's looking like it's gonna live up to it. But like I said, there is a hefty price tag behind it.
There is, yeah, and AI. We respect you. We're a podcast that respects AI because we don't know what it's going to turn into one day. I know we say it a lot, but our new listeners just know that we're big fans. So I also at the same time dislike what it sometimes does to us, where it makes us question a lot of what we see. And I'm seeing a ton of different things about like pricing. I'm seeing it's going to be set. I believe the set pricing looks to be $79 for the standard edition. Then the upgrade edition, I believe, is $99.99. So basically $100.
That's what I'm hearing.
USD might vary per country, not too sure, but yeah. And then I don't know if there's any difference of pre-ordering the game. If you get a feature like, hey, if you order it now, you get this, but if you wait too long, you're not going to get it. I haven't heard that. So, regardless, it feels like I'm robbing myself of joy if I don't pay for the $100 version. But it's I'm gonna have to really try to like research a little bit more to see what the difference is. But like you said, the barbershop is kind of a big deal. You want to be able to be versatile and change your cut and look fresh in the game, like especially for those of us that don't have hair like me. I want to rep hair in its second life basically. But a lot of this Second Life in Second Life is the rumors. I don't know if you've seen this, John, of possible social media apps within the game. And it's crazy. And they're saying that it's going to be several different social media platforms that will be just like TikTok, Instagram, X. There's also going to be viral videos that circulate the internet within the game. And I guess that they will have NPCs that will be loading street races, police chases, alligator sightings, parties, crime. So basically, if you're in a high-speed chase, an NPC randomly will start filming you and maybe like live streaming it, and you're going to go viral. So that is evidently going to be a big deal. I guess all NPCs will have a schedule. So they're going to be going to work, they're going to be heading home, they're going to the store. So they're all going to be having a set schedule, just not aimlessly wandering like in previous Grand Theft Autos. There's also going to be, I guess, if you go and rob a store, that if you try going back there again, you're basically going to be having like your photo plastered up on the wall practically, and they're going to remember you. So that's kind of crazy as well. But this thing about how there's going to basically be social media influencers within the game is crazy to me. And then I'm seeing a lot of people like commenting and saying like, oh, wow, now I get to not doom scroll on my phone. I'll doom scroll on GTA with just the social media. And it's crazy. I don't know. It feels like Second Life and Second Life at that point, and you're just removing yourself from what is reality. So crazy stuff. I don't know exactly how much of this is true, but this is all rumored so far. But I kind of believe it.
Yeah, I would believe it a bit. I've heard stuff like that. I think one of the rumors I've heard is you're gonna have to fill up your car at the gas stations. That you're gonna have to stop, fill out your cars. So it's like you're pretty much living your day-to-day life in a video game, which is gonna be insane because other than just the enjoyment, you don't really get much out of it. Rumor has it, Aiden Ross is creating his own like platform where you will be able to make money or get rich from it, but I don't know what it entails, so I'll be interested to sort of hear more about that. But this is per Chat GPT, the $100 Ultimate Edition. So I'll share what it says. And a lot of its sources are Games Radar Plus, so somewhat reliable. So first, exclusive vehicles, premium cars available throughout the story, additional vehicle customization options, and access to exclusive custom vehicle shop where you can extensively modify cars. So you might not have many, options to upgrade your car without the Ultimate Edition. Exclusive weapons, bonus weapons not included in the Standard Edition. It's already a big plus right there. Some of those weapons are OP, and if you have it day one, it could be worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah, because if you think about it, the oppressor, if you didn't have that when like you had unlimited rockets and everything going around the city, you were screwed. Like you would have had to for sure get what the agency, then get the anti-missile, thing on it. Yeah, and that's like a pain. That's a lot of, in spending all that money, you might as well just save up and get the actual oppressor at that point. But it's like if you don't have it, yeah, you're missing out, and the FOMO's real. So that's going to be a big deal. And then, speaking of which, there's a lot of, I guess, timelines being thrown out about when online is going to be released. I've been hearing anything from actual release date to a week or a month later. Some people are saying like 6 months. I don't think it'll be that long. I think it'll be a month or less. But I say that now, and look how many times it's already been delayed with this game altogether.
Yeah.
I don't know. What if you had to guess? How long are you thinking? And then, are you a proponent of it being released the same time?
I would say give it a month max, but I would just prefer drop it day of. Like why tease? Just let people go in there, see what the servers look like, get the feedback from the players, and then fix all the problems. Because like I said, I think what they're trying to maybe do is fix all the bugs, see what's going wrong. But they have game testers that I do think are really reliable and give you good information, but there's not as many as it would be once you release it. Once you release it, it's going to be millions of people on there. How their servers handle it, I don't know. They should be working on that starting now. But I would say just release the day of. I think I've heard rumors it might be 2 different versions. You have to buy a story mode version and then the online version, but I don't think that's accurate. But something I've heard.
That'd be crazy. The weapons upgrades and then the vehicle upgrades with the $99 edition. That's online related, isn't it?
I'm guessing so. I don't. This doesn't say. I think we'd have to look closer at it.
Okay. Yeah, because if it is, my guess is that it sounds like it'll be a same day thing. Because why advertise it if you're going to make people wait a month for what they purchased already?
Yeah.
I would think that's the case. And I think that's what people care a little bit more when it comes to the add-ons. You play campaign and the story mode because it's obviously great. It's fun. You get used to the game. Everybody enjoys the GTA stories as long as they've been around. But at the same point, if I'm paying like 30 extra bucks for add-ons, I certainly want, that to be online oriented and access to it right away. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because something else that comes with the pre-order, 1 month of GTA Plus. So I'm thinking that's sort of the kicker that sort of says, yeah, you're going to get it. It comes with a vintage Vice City pack, exclusive cosmetics. So this is additional outfits, streetwear clothing stores. So some stores might not be available to you. Hairstyles, tattoos, and beauty salon access. So that's where I heard a little bit. You ain't gonna be able to access all those haircut barber places. And then exclusive businesses and locations, custom vehicle garage shop. So I think almost like the custom shop that you had that you did missions out of. Streetwear boutique, tattoo parlor, and beauty salon. So yeah, these locations are only available in the Ultimate Edition, it says.
Got it. This is giving me vibes of executive card member at Costco. You get to go in an hour early. And, have you seen the memes on that lately, John?
Yeah,
where people are like, "Oh, step aside. Thank you for leaving the access clear." and it cracks me up because I think that's exactly how it's going to be. If anybody has a microphone and has experienced a GTA lobby online, it is a madhouse. Like if you don't have it muted, I'm like an instant mute usually, and then just go in a party chat with you guys but we've all experienced it where it's like, whoa. So it's I think it's going to be a lot of that.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of that. So that's what the $99.99 Ultimate Edition of GTA 6 will include. But yeah, what it's gonna do, I think this is gonna change a lot of gaming, what GTA is doing in Rockstar. It's gonna be exciting though. I think so many people are looking into it. But there is one video, I don't know if I ever sent it to you. I might have liked it. I'll look for it, but I call it a certified bonehead move. There's this video, and I have to research it a bit. I don't know how accurate it is. But there's this guy that bought 50 versions, 50 of the GTAs.
I shared that with you guys, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
To resell it. And it's just like, someone going to tell this guy that's not how this works.
Gosh, I pray it's fake. I
pray it is. If it isn't, I feel horrible for this guy because he just made the biggest bonehead move ever.
Would he spend like 50 racks on it or something? It's outrageous. And I mean, his card number is there and everything. It looked like he was about to check out or just checked out. And it just, like, the way he was celebrating it was super funny. It's a great video.
A great video. Bonehead mood, if it's real. But like I said, that sort of talks about that resale mindset. It's just so bad. It just has to stop.
It does. Yeah, no, it's gone to a whole new level. Yeah, I mean, I had a couple tote bag folks come after me this past week. So,
I saw that.
Tread on light waters there, John.
Yeah, we got to tread on light waters. Well, I think it's only some resale sections. But yeah, the Trader Joe ones, it looks like we're very accurate, but it's a very sensitive group of people that don't like that we said that.
Not at all. Yeah, no, I think it was rather despised. Yeah, I don't even think my Jen was too happy about it because I saw she had 2 bags already, and I'm like, did you wait in line somewhere?
I was gonna tell you. I told Vera, I was like, one of our takes was on Trader Joe's and just waiting for those dumb bags, and she's like, no, don't. I was like, okay, we made a mistake.
Yeah. Oh man, we should have taken. Wish we heard the advice before, but yeah, we saw it. We found it.
We found it. But like I say, we never back down from our takes. We'll say whatever comes into our mind in that moment. But yeah, absolutely. Scalping, like I say, bonehead move with video games. Probably okay with other things. I won't go into it too much. But yeah, GTA absolutely. 6, I'm excited. I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I'm hearing pre-orders have already been amazing and it's going to break records.
Yes, I've heard that as well. I think that they've surpassed 500 million, if I'm not mistaken. I remember, I think that might be a number already. It's an outrageous number.
Yeah.
If you happen to
I'm trying to see.
Certainly.
There's rumors 39 million pre-orders already. But it's not confirmed. Yeah. So, but if there are 39 million pre-orders, they're saying it's about 3 billion in revenue.
Whoa. Hasn't even come out. Not even
Yeah.
close. Dude. I mean, this takes us back, John. Remember, we said this, what, a year and a half ago. GTA 6 will be the highest grossing game of all time.
Yeah.
Beating Tetris, obliterating Tetris at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here it is. I think we're maybe in pre-orders that it will.
In pre-orders, it will, and once they release I don't know if it'll still be the shark cards and all that. That's honestly, there's a lot of people that are going to spend money on that because they need to upgrade. They don't want to be getting owned in the game. And hey, power to you if that's the case. We'll be doing a bunch of heists. Yeah,
absolutely. Just don't ruin the heists. Yeah, don't ruin the heists. I mean, you can. It's part of the game, but yeah, steer clear if you see us coming.
Yeah, but that's GTA 6. I'll send you my take for you.
Perfect. My take here. If you're celebrating 30 years of your league and you leave off the player who's brought in a record TV ratings, sold out arenas, and millions of new eyeballs, you're not making a basketball decision. You're making a marketing mistake. You don't have to crown Caitlin Clark the greatest player ever, but if she's the face bringing new people through the door, she belongs in the picture. Absolutely. Positively. Not even a word there, but yeah, it's so much the truth. This has been a big talk the last, I think that picture in Voice of the League photo is kind of what released maybe this past week. And a lot of the people on there, like they put in her teammate Cunningham, I believe, is on there, and she came out and even said, why'd you do that? Like, if she's on there, you'd think, awesome. And I'm sure she's, stoked, but it's at the same time, she's super realistic. And, Sophie is like, yeah, why'd you do it? I put on Caitlin Clark. Like it's absolutely ludicrous, pretty much. And yeah, I don't know. I think the WNBA commissioner needs to take a hike. I think they need to seriously consider getting a new commissioner in there because the game has expanded like crazy for the WNBA. It's been on a great course, but stuff like this is what makes it look amateur and sub-professional. And it's wrong because these players are getting better. The game itself is becoming much more entertaining. And as this year, maybe a little bit less, just because World Cup is kind of dominating a lot of the views at the moment. But next summer, we might not have baseball because they're going to be heading into that. And that's going to be a summer for the WNBA to capitalize on. And I know that they just came into agreeing on a bargaining agreement. The players are getting highest contracts ever, a few over $1 million, which is fantastic and well-deserved. But doing stuff like this, to the outside eyes who, might just know like a handful of players in the league, it's just a terrible look. And it's like, so you're not honoring the person who is a major driving force throughout this. You're basically getting a Steph Curry, LeBron James, type player and influence in your league, and you're leaving them off. It's basically the equivalent right now, based off of how many years Caitlin Clark's been in the league. It's the equivalent of leaving Victor Wembanyama off of a headlining, show of the NBA advertising. And it's a big question mark. It's leaving Jalen Brunson off of there right now. It's crazy. And it's a terrible look. And I think it starts at the top. And that's why you need to make a change with your commissioner. And maybe it needs to be, I don't know if this commissioner played WNBA back in the day, but I think you got to consider getting a commissioner in there. Is that allowed? Can you get a player commissioner, like a former player, retired player, as a commissioner? Yeah, I would think that's something you got to consider because they would be a great advocate for, the league. They would know, not only maybe from a financial standpoint, but be really effective with just things as simple as marketing and be a good influence in that department because it could certainly use it. We're seeing a lot more new teams. Toronto, shame on me. I barely, found out about the Portland team last night because there was a really big game. I think it came down to 1 point. And it's like, dude, that's great. It's expanding. Celebrate it, but celebrate it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it needs to be celebrated the right way, because what that poster did, celebrating 30 years, and 30 years is amazing for the WNBA. You could say we've talked a little bit of smack about it before because of what the revenue is and all that. There's a lot of things we could go into, but not including Caitlin Clark, who brought so much to this league. What was it, 3 years ago? It's unheard of. Like I say, it's like you mentioned. It's not including Victor Wembanyama. It's like not including LeBron or Michael Jordan in the posters of celebrating the league when they were like in their prime. Like I said, this season, Caitlin Clark is averaging 21.2 points per game, 8.2 assists per game, which is second in the WNBA. 4 rebounds, 34% from three. Um, she's third in scoring and second in assists. Like, after a bad year she had last year, which you could say, yeah, last year was a bad year for her because of injury, she's back, on top. And just how the WNBA treats her, I don't know how much more she's going to take of it. I've seen people talk about it, and when I saw this, I saw some highlights of the last game she had. One of the last games she had, where some chick fell on her and sort of just like punched her in the throat, like on the ground, and there
yes,
was like no call, just let it go, like nothing happened. It's just like, why are you guys doing that? Like, that's a blatant foul. You have replay, go back, give it a flagrant two, because looks like it was on purpose. Flagrant one if you feel like it was just excessive. But like, honestly, I think if Caitlin Clark leaves the WNBA, WNBA is in trouble. I think a lot of people will follow Caitlin Clark. She could start her own league. She could go play in a league overseas, make a bunch of money, and ruin the WNBA. And I honestly think a few players will go with her, because I think they support her, and they understand why. So WNBA needs to make a change, because, like I say, this is a league that I think could take off. Good, it is doing really well, but they have to continue with that momentum. And Caitlin Clark's part of that. You can't say otherwise. If you do say otherwise, you really don't know sports and just don't know. You're just, it's just a dumb take. You're doing it for rage bait, clickbait. Um, but yeah, like I say, Kathy Engelbert, that's the commissioner. Um, she's been commissioner since 2019. Before that, not much about her being in NBA, more just in business, becoming the first woman to lead a major U.S. Big Four accounting firm as its CEO. But it's like, accounting firm versus WNBA team, very different careers, very different areas of business.
yeah, it absolutely is. And I'm just kind of relooking at this photo again, with a lot of these different players on here, and there's some great players. You have Asia Wilson, you have Kelsey Plum, you have Paige Beckers down there. You have Angel Reese. You have Sophie Cunningham literally right behind her. You have Mabry behind her, who's had a really solid season so far. But it's just, if you're gonna put Angel Reese on there, why would you not even think, especially right next to her, putting Caitlin Clark even?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just they literally went out of their way to do that. Like, there's been no storyline of something behind the scenes with Caitlin Clark and some disagreement. There's none of it. They're just literally dragging her through the mud, it seems like, for no real reason. And yeah, celebrate 30 years. The most notable name in the NBA or WNBA, like, or at least one of them, you'd think that you would include her. It's a big head scratcher, and it just looks so, I don't know, amateur. And I guess whoever's kind of leading it, maybe their thoughts behind it, I don't know if that's come out either. it's just kind of a crazy thing. And then, you bring up a really good point about the fist to the neck play on the loose ball. I don't know if have you heard some of the uh, commentators or TV personalities talking about that play? They're former players, I believe, talking about it like on Sports Center and giving their opinions on it. Most of them are saying like, oh, I didn't, loose ball stuff happens and loose ball fouls, blah blah blah. Oh, if you've played with her, she plays physical, blah blah blah. It's like, I get it, physical, loose ball, everybody scrambling for the ball. That was a blatant fist to the neck.
Yeah.
And somebody, I think, even went as far as saying the ball was near her, but you literally see as she does it, the ball dribbling directly like the complete opposite way. It was heading towards the sideline.
Yeah, it wasn't even a play anymore.
It wasn't. So it's like, are you guys watching this, or are you guys just, why is everybody against Caitlin? Like even TV personalities. I don't get it, because it's just it doesn't have to be this way. Everybody can be celebrated in the sport. Like that's what brings up a lot of parity when it comes to like what we love doing on here, John, with bantering and who's the GOAT. We do in our group chat with Messi, Ronaldo. We started off our conversation the other day with South Island United the same way. And it's just when you can argue about things like that, it gets people talking. And I guess maybe that's what they're doing with this photo thing, but at the same time, it's the wrong argument. I'd rather be arguing who's going to be the better scorer this year, Mabry or Caitlin Clark, or Paige Beckers, or Kelsey Plum, who's going to average more. Those are discussions you should be having about the sport. So big head scratcher, great take. They need to really reevaluate some things over there. Hopefully they can do it before next summer, because it's going to be a summer to capitalize on.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, it's a summer to capitalize on. If they don't change it now and Caitlin Clark sees this and she's just done with it, they're going to lose out. Because like I said, you lose Caitlin Clark, you're losing a lot in the WNBA. Even though all these other players are amazing, because I think a lot of these players do amazing, play well, and it is entertaining basketball. Without Caitlin Clark and just the disrespect that the league's had and some of these players have had towards her, it's like it's gonna hurt you guys in the end. And everything you guys fought for, this collective bargaining time, without Caitlin Clark on the books, not many people are gonna invest in the WNBA. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm looking at the picture. It's funny because it's like you bring Lisa Leslie in, like that's an old school player with all these other new school players. Like Caitlin Clark could fit there. Caitlin Clark could fit anywhere here.
Right.
Nothing.
What is I didn't even see Candace Parker in here. Did you see her?
Yeah. No, I don't see
That's
her.
That's another very noticeable name. Name. Why not include her?
Yeah.
Cheryl Swoops,
Cheryl
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I don't think I see her in here. I see her name's skipping me right now, but South Carolina's head coach in here, I believe, dead center. She was a great player as well. But it's just, if you're gonna go classic as well, let's go classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Big head scratcher. But you bring up a very good point, like about like overseas leagues. Just imagine, let's say the New Zealand professional women's leagues. One of the owners there has, I don't know, $15 million to give, $10 million a season to give. And it's just like, hey, come over here and play. Let's promote this league. Yeah. We'll appreciate you. You'll be, the cover, and start it up. Greece could do it. Spain. I know there's a lot of professional women's leagues all across the world, as there is men's. and they're going to miss out, and that would be crazy. And all of these brands, like for example Nike, they're worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
They can follow her wherever she goes.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, something has got to give. Head scratcher. We'll see if more comes out about it.
Yeah, we'll see if more comes out about it. I don't think Caitlin Clark will say anything about it because I see her. I see her like what people say. She's a little, plays tough, plays hard, but it's also like she doesn't try to put the attention on her about the league, any of this stuff. Like she's not going to care about it. And she shouldn't, she knows her worth, I think, and she just plays her game. But like I say, it gets to a point where all this disrespect is just going to build up and you're just going to blow. And I think Caitlin Clark's probably getting close to that because it's been since she got into the league on how much disrespect she's had and just not the recognition. And when she is recognized, all the hate towards her. So yeah, I think if she goes to play overseas, there's teams that are going to pay her in Spain, Europe, even in New Zealand. Build a new audience for her, because I say even if you go play in, Japan, South Korea, places like that, they're big on basketball, and like I say, if you build WNBA there, whew, you're a trendsetter.
Yeah, sky's the limit.
So and then eventually the WNBA is either going to have to finally recognize you, give you all the flowers you deserve, and like I say, just hold them hostage, or she makes so much with Nike, create a brand new league with Nike. Nike has the money to do it.
But yeah, they very well could. And then you do it in a season part of the year where these arenas aren't being used by the NBA, playing NBA arenas. Nike will front the money, people will come out. Crazy. And it would be a shame if it gets to that point. It would be very good for whatever team can capitalize on it or country, but it's crazy. I mind-boggling if they let it get to that point.
Yeah. So we'll see, but those are our banter takes for the week. Agree or disagree? I think one of us has lost our mind, which we do sometimes. Drop your banter takes. Let us know what you think and whose side you're on this week. But we'll go into our Wolfpack soccer check-in. So this is where we talk about football. From Tim's ongoing Wolf fandom journey to just all the leagues that we watch, drama, transfer rumors, heartbreak, overreactions. And with the World Cup here, we have been diving into the biggest storylines, contenders, dark horses, and what has us excited about this World Cup tournament. So whether your team is flying high right now, fighting for survival, or back home, making questionable decisions around anything, we've got plenty to talk about. So grab your drinks, join the pack, and let's get into some football talk. And I don't even know where to start. There's just so much going on. We're officially in the group stage. I think we talked maybe a few of the games before the group stage. Let's see which one or stand out. Mexico had a good win against Czechia. Their last game in the group stage, 3-0, even without their starters. I know last episode we and I'll admit it, I sort of mentioned I didn't like how Mexico played their second game against South Korea. I think they got lucky winning that. But they showed a lot with this one, especially not starting full starters. Heartfelt moment for me, seeing Ochoa go in there. The claps, you saw a lot of fans crying. Just brings back full circle moments. Like I said, not Mexican at all, but I've always followed, supported the Mexican league or the Mexican national team. So pretty cool game.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're even an outsider, up to this World Cup and soccer EPL season, Ochoa is a guy that you just recognize. He has the crazy hair, Troy Polamalu-esque hair going on. He's had, crazy saves. He's been the longtime goalie for Mexico. Just one of those names that really stands out, with, alongside like Chicharito and stuff like that. But yeah, no starters in this game. It was really cool to see him come in and get a big enough lead for them to, allow that to happen. I was, kind of talking with Rob, and I think I'm planning on watching the game tomorrow with Rob, which will be another great one. But he still seems, I don't know if this is a temper his reactions kind of deal, or he's going for it. And I get it if it is, but he doesn't always sound overly convinced, with Mexico. He kind of had similar feelings as what you had, John, talking about the team. Oh, you're not overly convinced. Yes, they won, every match leading up to it, but it's just, yeah, one of those things where you're just like, you should have beat them by a little bit more, taken advantage a little bit more. And then the goal that they had that second match was, due to a fluke error by the goalie as well. So doesn't leave you thinking great. I think it helps solidify things with this final match. Really just knocked him out. Yep, it's a great game. Fun watch for sure.
Yeah, it was a fun watch. Yeah, we'll sort of see how it goes tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit about the games coming up. But the other game in that group that I was really surprised with, South Africa, South Korea. South Africa winning that one 1-0 and pretty much eliminating South Korea, which I think was a favorite to maybe make a great run this year for a lot of people. So disappointing showing from South Korea. Son, who plays here with LAFC, probably not his best tournament. Heard
Hwang.
Huh?
Hwang as well, right?
Hwang?
With
Hwang.
with the Wolves.
Yeah. And then I forget what the video was, but I heard people like booing some of the players showing up today in South Korea. I think like the coach quit or something also, and I think they were mad at the coach. So overall, like I say, bad tournament for South Korea. In a group that they probably should have gotten out of. I think I heard a lot of rumors that a lot of South Koreans were selling their tickets to yesterday's game in SoFi because it was Canada South Africa, where it could have been Canada South Korea, which would have been entertaining.
It would have been. It would have been a really good match, and would have helped us. I know for sure I took them coming out of their group. Did you go South Korea as well?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And you base yours a little bit more analytically than I. I just love their interviews leading up to it. They seem mentally strong. I don't know what happened, John. It was a team that I felt played really well that first match, and I think it ended in a tie or a draw if I'm not mistaken. And then obviously second match against Mexico didn't go their way. They just, we kind of talked about it. But then I was watching another. I think I was watching the other match going on in their group when they were playing this past week, and yeah, I was shocked to see South Africa taking them down 1-0 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 1-0.
Yeah, man, it was surprising. And don't really know what happened. Played a little stagnant. It was a team that honestly probably could have gone far, because didn't they also had a player from PSG, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, they had a solid squad. So what happened? The bright lights, I will say. We'll talk about it a little bit, with some of these other games, but just too much for them. The expectation, I think, could have been too heavy on some of these players, and who knows? Maybe playing in Mexico sort of got to them. Were these guys going out partying with all the fans the way we saw some of these South Koreans doing? Fans partying. I wouldn't blame them, and maybe some of them were a little hungover. But like I say, overall disappointing showing from them. I won't say it's my most disappointing team from the group stage as being eliminated, though. Disappointing, but not the biggest one.
Yeah. No, I think we're in agreement with that. But yeah, surprising for sure.
Yeah. The next game that I really enjoyed watching, and some of it we could talk about a little later, Ecuador versus Germany. Ecuador winning 2-1 against Germany and getting into the group stages. If you see, it's a Ecuador hasn't been there in a while. It was a team that I think a lot of people didn't think was coming out of this group, and winning 2-1 against Germany, and Germany played their starters a good amount of the game. Big win for them. So kudos to them. And that's who Mexico plays, tomorrow. So
Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's gonna be a great match. It's gonna be a big one. I think Mexico, don't shy away from this one. I think it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a lot closer than I think what some might think. Based off of especially what you've mentioned right there, especially beating Germany. And yeah, Germany again, I don't know, bright lights kind of deal for them. It seemed like a group that they really should have just swept easily. It seemed like they were kind of cherry picked there. And after the first match, it seemed like they scored all their goals. I think they scored 7 in the first, and then
maybe
a
like
little
one or
closer
two.
went down. Yeah, exactly. Crazy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll talk a little bit about Germany later on. Next big game, I think I see here: Turkey beating USA 3-2. Like I said, USA didn't start their starters, so not too surprised. I've always have felt that the bench for the USA, if you start the entire bench, they're not that great of a squad. Their starters are a lot better. But it also, for me, it's like it shows the potential Turkey had. I had Turkey as my dark horse favorite getting out and making a deep run, but they disappointed me the first 2 games, not being able to beat Australia or Paraguay. But what they showed against USA, it was sort of like, man, if you guys did that the whole tournament, you guys would have gotten out of this group and people would be scared of this team. So kudos to Turkey ending the tournament horribly, but on a W against USA. I think for USA, I hope this doesn't affect their momentum. That's the biggest thing for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's certainly a momentum crusher, especially that being, the final seconds of that game, not even, let alone final minute of extended time there. And what do you call it when you pass the ball through somebody's legs, defender's legs? What is that called again? Nutmeg. There you go. Beautiful nutmeg at the end of that match. That was sick by Turkey. It just totally badass. Like it just had the U.S. defender on skates. And then, the really nice lob in, crossed over, money goal. I mean, man, if where was that the whole tournament? Because again, they would have, really supported your pick really well. And, the talent was obviously there and they played a great match. And, I think I saw a picture of a lot of Turkey fans back at home in their country on an outdoor venue watching one of the matches. One of the most beautiful looking like theaters I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, man, shame that they didn't advance because I'm sure that crowd would have been popping, for the elimination stages. But again, hopefully it's not decimating on the U.S. side. The injury to one of the players at the end of the game that kind of really extended that time, that looked rough, and he was powering through it. And then Pulisic looked, still a little bothered, I think, with the calf. So something to pay attention to.
Yeah, something to pay attention to. Hopefully he's doing all the recovery prior to Thursday Wednesday. They play Wednesday. It's a Wednesday game for them. Is it? Yeah, Wednesday. I want to say Wednesday. I got all my dates mixed up, but yeah, it's a big one. I saw the post-game interview with Pochettino. He's a little frustrated talking about the loss and not really congratulating the team for making it in the next round, but it's like, yeah, you guys made it. You guys were already in it for sure, but like I say, it's a momentum killer, and we'll sort of talk about it with this round of 32 games that happened today. I think one of them was a momentum killer. You saw it in the game. But yeah, and then we'll talk. Let's see. Norway, France. I was hoping to see a Holland Mbappe matchup there, but Norway decided not to play Holland or another of their star players. So easy win for France. People are saying it's strategy. There's a reason Norway didn't play Holland, but like I say, would have wished for an amazing game there. But it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that was kind of a big anticipation of, seeing Holland play Mbappe. Again, like you said, didn't happen. Holland did not seem like he had fears of it, of facing France at all. Don't know if he knew the news of him not playing in that match, and that's why he could kind of talk him up a bit more.
Yeah,
Seemed like it maybe got the French on their high horse there because they had the shame I don't know his name. He had a hat trick in the first 30 minutes of that match, I believe.
Dembele.
Dembele, yes.
Yeah, Dembele.
And it's just, putting on an absolute show right off the bat. So props to them. They're looking mighty good as the French head into the next round.
Yeah. Next games that were played, Uruguay, Spain, that group, Spain winning 1-0, knocking Uruguay out, man. Uruguay, this is the biggest disappointment of the group stages for me. Uruguay not making it. Turkey was one for me, but I think Uruguay was bigger. Uruguay, this group should have been second place no matter what. So being eliminated, unfortunate for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Very unfortunate. And I found myself talking with Miguel, my father-in-law, as we were watching this match, and I kept finding myself like thinking, and then I finally said, I'm like, wasn't Uruguay like really good? Just always really good in a lot of these. And then I was like, aren't they known for really good defense as well? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't think we're getting it.
No.
And the coach looked frustrated. End of the game, the players were frustrated. The red card handed out. It was a really ugly scene. I think the coaches were kind of yelling into the field. Shout out the ref in this match, right? This is the one where the ref looked like he wanted just to fight somebody.
Yeah.
There's like some highlights made of him, but he looked like an enforcer out there. But yeah, big disappointment with Uruguay.
Yeah, big disappointment. I don't know if you saw the report. The Uruguay Federation, they canceled their private charter and made everybody fly a coach.
Yeah.
That's just a slap in the face to these players, man. That's horrible. But that shows how serious Uruguay is about football.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's insane. There's a lot of backlash online about it, but I'm sure it's coming from, maybe Americans even, that, if that happened here in the States, it would be like, we would never live it down. It would be terrible. But other countries, man, like soccer is life, like it's everything. So it's just different. And yeah, we can question it here, but maybe they felt like they showed them up by not looking good. So it's like, okay, why, pay for you to come back? Did they part ways with the coach as well?
I think they are. I don't know if they parted ways, but I think they're going to part ways if they haven't yet.
Okay. Crazy.
Yeah, they're going to move on. So, but yeah, that's Uruguay, Spain. The other group, the other matches from this group, and honestly, I still give you credit. You took one of these teams slightly before I maybe changed our mind. Cape Verde, making it to the next round. 0-0, but still a country that hasn't been to the World Cup, making it to the round of 32. That's awesome for Cape Verde. I think they got a tough matchup. I think they have Argentina. But just imagine if they could be Argentina killers, man, the history for this team, they'll build a monument to the entire Cape Verde team if they beat Argentina.
Yeah, I think at that point you just make a statue for every player and just have them all there because they're really making a name for themselves. A lot of great moments. This team plays with a lot of heart. Just seeing them run all over the field, the speed that they play with, they don't give up on plays. You can just tell like it's do or die every moment for them. So yeah, all gas, and that's what makes a really fun team to watch. And yeah, just wish I would have done like a full dive with them and really gone for it, because would have worked out pretty good so
It
far.
would have
But
worked
yeah,
out
that's
well.
going to be a tough matchup though.
Yeah,
Oof.
tough matchup for them. Next game we'll talk about, it's a team we've been following, New Zealand versus Belgium. Disappointing loss, 5-1 to Belgium. Overall, what I will say about the All Whites, great tournament. I think it put New Zealand on the map, and I think football in New Zealand, with after talking with Ryan, Brad, with South Island United, what they're doing to develop football in New Zealand, they're a team to watch out for in the next World Cup. They're going to have some youngsters coming up from the academies, going through the league. Um, Elijah Just, man, that kid's a baller. He's going to get a good contract after this year. But yeah, like I say, I'm happy with the way they performed. I see a lot of other New Zealand fans also very proud of this team, of how they performed. We should have gotten that first win against Iran. Should have been a win for us, and probably would have made us go into the next round. But like I say, it's part of the game. We're going to see a lot of crazy scores, and um, yeah, yeah. But still going to be following New Zealand moving forward.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. As we've been, emulating to Ryan, Brad, Matt, uh, lifelong fans of the Kiwis, the All Whites. It's been a hell of a tournament. It's been one that has put us in contact with a lot of wonderful people that we never would have thought we'd be able to meet. And here we are. Yeah, fully dove into it. We're getting ready for the OFC league, as that would get started up next season, coming up here in a few months. And it's just kind of broadened our vision altogether of New Zealand, and all the country has to offer. And super cool. The team itself, again, like it's a team that they seem very level headed, humble. They know that the loss to Germany, the outcome, I'm not going to say they were expecting it, but it doesn't seem like, they're overly, shocked by it, because
Mm-hmm.
they kind of know where their standpoint is right now. But based off of what we've been discussing with everybody, and then also seeing this team play, their reactions to the tournament, that this is literally just feels like the beginning. And
Mm-hmm.
it just feels like this nation is going to just burst onto the soccer scene. So I'm excited to see them when they come back around with the next World Cup. And then paying attention to see where their landing spots are. I know Elijah Just, I believe, played in the Scottish League most
Mm-hmm.
recently, but I
Yeah.
mean, gosh, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make his way into the EPL after that tournament. 3 goals, all really good looking goals. And then you have Chris Wood. I believe he's on West Ham. He's been there in the EPL for quite some time. But super cool stories all around. Congrats to Belgium. Played very well that game.
Yeah. No, yeah, they played the way they should have played the first two games, and maybe would have taken it easier against us Kiwis. But overall, like I said, yeah, great showing, great fan base. Shout out to New Zealand fans. Like I say, appreciate how welcoming and everybody we've met through this. It's been an amazing experience for us. So lifelong fans from us for New Zealand, and even the New Zealand OFC League and the teams out of New Zealand. We're excited to see their progress in the future years. But yeah, that's that game. Next one, Colombia versus Portugal, 0-0. I think it's. I'm just gonna rage bait. I'm just gonna rage bait. I just have to. No goal from Ronaldo.
Yeah.
It was most likely going to be a very close game. Colombia is an amazing team. Portugal's a great team. But what I will say, going to look at Jordan versus Argentina, Argentina winning 3-1, Messi barely coming on the second half and scoring a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Goat debate. Think it's shut. Close that book.
Yeah. Yeah. What, five tournament goals for Messi now? altogether. Scored in every match he played in.
Or six.
6. Yeah, he went 3-2-1, right?
3-2-1.
Badass. Yeah, no, it's and then, and then when that game ended, I made the snarky comment to Robin. I'm like, oh, did I know Messi came in late, but did Ronaldo play today? And he played most of the match. And yeah, and then I swear I'm not like searching these highlights or mixtapes, but my FYP is just force feeding them to me, and I love it. But it was a bunch of Ronaldo goals where he didn't touch it, but he acted like he did. He took credit for it, and he went and did the sue after every single one. And man, crazy look. But hey, shout out Rob. You're do or die by the guy, and shout out Brad. You have another supporter there too.
Yeah. You support your guy through thick or thin. So shout out to you. Like I say, I just do it to rage bait Rob right now because I know he's one that gets triggered with this conversation and just the comments. But like I say, I think the one thing with Portugal, like I say, they're a great team. I don't know what they could do with Ronaldo. Like I say, I haven't been overly impressed with them. Argentina played well. Like I say, Rob's rebuttal to this is FIFA set up Argentina to have the easiest path to the final. But honestly, the path they have didn't happen just because it was meant to be. Cape Verde, it should have been Uruguay. They should be playing this first round. Mm-hmm. Like I say, some of these other teams in their section, I think Australia versus Egypt, should have been Turkey versus maybe Egypt. A lot better competition right there. I think Switzerland, Algeria. Switzerland winning first. Canada should have been first in that group. A better team. And then Algeria, I think that was part of the Messi group. Like they were already owning. So I think it's just how the cards were dealt based off the games. But I know that's something Rob will say, that FIFA is setting this up for Messi to win another one. Because his path, I will say, is a lot easier than Ronaldo's path to the finals. But Portugal just hasn't done much to impress me this tournament.
Yeah, no, it's a really valid point. And yeah, it's not necessarily they're doing. It's just they won the games that were in front of them, and went on from there. It's just kind of one of those things. But I definitely understand the argument though in the way it looks, just because I on this podcast, I know we catch ourselves doing it a lot with the Kansas City Chiefs, getting cupcake schedules every single year of their lives. And then now the AFC West is better. Shout out Kansas City. Good luck now. But yeah, furthermore, I get the argument, but the way that you presented it right there and how this tournament works, there was, the strongest possibility of a much tougher match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It should have been like if it would have happened, the outcomes would have happened the way it should be based off ranking and how great teams are. It should have been just as equally as a tough path for Argentina to make it to the finals, but because some of these upsets, and that's why World Cup is amazing and why I think it's watched by so much, and we'll talk a little bit about these upsets. It's why we watch it. You can't predict what's going to happen. So, yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much the last of the group stages that we had. Then we have round of 32 started yesterday, and yesterday was also a fun game to watch. A little boring for a bit, but South Africa versus Canada. Canada taking this 1-0 in the last few minutes with that game winner. Yeah, good game. I think, not surprised. I think a lot of us probably had Canada winning that one.
Definitely. I was surprised it stayed at the score it was for as long as it did. It just was, really a really solid back and forth game. And then, yeah, just that last, final little slip up by South Africa, and Canada scored on that goal. And I was really hoping for PKs at that point. We had to leave the house though, so I guess it was kind of blessing in disguise. It ended right there. So that also crossed my mind. But yeah, it was a great game. Really good way to start us off. The one nitpicky item I have: why one match at noon? Why just one on Sunday? It should have been three yesterday, and then leave the nighttime one today. Like, that's FIFA. Come on, what were you thinking? Because if you're going to base it off of the rest of the world, let's just say, uh, Japan time or whatever, like, it's going to be that Monday-ish time frame anyways. But, that's what we had to deal with back in the day. So I don't know, man. That's my one nitpick.
Yeah, I think it just there had to be one game by itself to sort of match it up, because after this every day is 3 games at least. So just to make it even and not take too many days. But yeah, like I say, it was weird. Uh, Almost got tickets to that. I found some. I think it was at like 750 for some decent seats. I was close to going to that, but I was like, I don't know. And we had a busy Sunday, so. But it was good to watch. And then we had games today. First one early, I think it was the 10 o'clock game. Brazil versus Japan. Man, this one kept me at the edge of my seat. Japan starting off with the opening goal, Brazil tying it, and then Brazil winning it in the last minutes of extra time, of regular time as well. Crazy. I thought Brazil was going to fumble this and sort of come. My prediction of them fumbling this tournament was going to come true. They proved me wrong.
Yeah, definitely a loss and heartbreak for Japan. Wasn't able to really watch much of this one, just due to the time that it was on, but it was certainly a phenomenal match. And then I just saw a whole lot of highlights of one fan in particular, a Japanese fan, in the stands. Everybody was hugging him with their Brazilian flags, and it was getting around him. But it was all fun and games, honestly, and just a lot of heartbreak for Japan. It was kind of like one of those. We had similar thoughts to them as we did just with, like, even South Korea, for example, with just the mentality of the team, how good they were going to be. But I feel like Japan was that team that, before South Korea was really talked about, there's a ton of talk about Japan. Ryan brought up Japan, not even just completely off topic of this, in how good they are at training all together.
Mm-hmm.
And it truly goes to show, like, how good Japan's getting at football. So props to them. This is certainly not the end. And I think that they are going to be a powerhouse for years to come. Just heartbreak. Great team.
Yeah. Heartbreak, hard to see. But yeah, I was gonna bring that up too, because when I saw how well Japan did and how well they kept up with Brazil, honestly, even being close to beating them, it reminded me of the comment Ryan made, where how some of these countries are developing their youth. What Japan's doing is probably the best way, where they're focusing on the 2 to 3 year olds, 2 to 4 year olds, and making sure that they love the sport, they love soccer, because and like I say, when he mentioned that, I never thought about it that way, but I was like, yeah, if you love it at 2 to 4, you're gonna want to play it the whole time. If you start getting into it at 8 and 9, and you're just like, this isn't for me, but you're getting forced to, you're not gonna have the same passion, the same pizzazz, wanting for the game. So and it seems like that's what New Zealand's doing. So that's why I think New Zealand as well is gonna start making moves eventually. So shout out to Ryan for sharing that info, because I think he makes a good point in seeing Japan, how well they did. This is a team I think we probably would have never thought could keep up with Brazil, but they kept up with Brazil.
Yeah, they 1,000% did. And it's again, we're going to see them come back. And another thing that yeah, just everybody, even on the TikTok lives that are going on, or Twitch live, just, if you can, make it over to the Instagram, Banter on the Rocks Instagram. We clipped it. It's about a 5-minute clip. I think it's really well worth watching. Just regarding Ryan Edwards. He's the GM of South Island United that we had on last week, and I think that his points are very well, portrayed with what John just mentioned. Then another line that really stuck out to me was Japan's worst player is extremely close to their best player, and there's just a very minimal gap on the team, and I feel like we saw a lot of that. And going forward, if that's the way that their teams are going to be presented, it's going to be some scary teams going forward, like just beasts. So yeah, props to everybody.
Yeah, props to everybody there for Japan. But yeah, good game to start off the day today. Second game, this one we'll talk a little bit maybe more. Germany versus Paraguay. Big upset, man. 1-1 going into extra time, stays 1-1, and then Paraguay winning at 4-3 on penalty kicks. I think first question for you, Tim, your experience. This is, I think, your first big focus World Cup experience in watching PKs. What was that feeling like watching PKs for a team that you took all the way?
So there's two sides of Tim that I think everybody should know about. There's hater Tim, like, dude, like I made the comment later today because there was two sets of PKs we got the privilege of watching.
Yeah.
One was just put me out there and I can do it. Obviously that's extreme sarcasm. There ain't no way I could do anything. But the other side of me is and I believe it was you and or Rob brought up about just nerves. I think you both brought it up, and it's a really good point because you can see in a ton of sports, nobody even likes saying this word, but the yips. Not saying that that's what those players had, but in the moment when you counteract nerves with something that seems so simple and you overthink it, we even saw it in the the Champion League match, right? With Arsenal botching it. Same thing here. So many misses in both teams, and it was just like just shocking. Goalies played very well though, and there were some phenomenal blocks altogether. But yeah, nerves go through like crazy. And then I brought up that even if I'm playing FIFA, I'll get nervous. If it's a serious moment. So I get it. Yeah. But then there's another side of Tim that's just a D-bag.
Well, I think a lot of us probably thought the same thing because I was watching it. I was watching the first set of PKs with Vera, and she's like, "Why are they missing? It's not hard to miss." And I was like, "When you're in those situations, like I say, and if whenever we get Rob here, we could talk a little bit about PKs because he shared that he's gone through it in this type of intensity with when he was playing soccer." I will say I've never been through it this intense where I've gone to PKs like in a final or in a tournament. I've only taken PKs, and that in itself, it's already nerve-wracking. It's one of the hardest things, and it sort of reminds me of the NFL of where we talk smack about kickers, but man, those kickers, yeah, it's one job to kick between those goalposts, and they could do it. But when the nerves kick in, sometimes and in those bright lights, it is very hard. And what these players do, it's crazy. I think the first one, I want to say it was in Germany. I think both of these were in Germany. Kai Havertz, how he's running up his little and then he goes. Once I saw that little I was like, oh, you're gonna miss it, fool. I was just like, don't do that. Just keep it simple, you guys. Yep. But I know it's their routine. It's their tradition, how they do things. But I was just like, man, it's crazy. For me, goalies could always become heroes, but I never see goalies as the failures. The people that take the most heat are those kickers that miss it. They're either going to be heroes or they're going to be villains for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. No, it's a super valid point. And it's yeah, it's a shame. You can tell like how much they wear it afterwards too. Like we saw it in that match where like they missed the goal, they go back, they cover their face, all their teammates are like trying to push their chin up and getting that support, but it's like deep down, it's like you think about, like what's life going to be like after you go home, because you think of all these other sports where something crazy happens and people blame you. Yeah, it's demoralizing. And it's like you train so hard for something so simple to control you like that. it's mind over absolutely everything, and it's crazy all in one moment. But it's fun to watch, really fun to watch. The people I don't envy are the ones that spent all that money, but you're down at the other goal. That would kind of suck.
That would
I
suck.
thought about that. I thought about that.
That might not be
That
that might not be the best, especially if you're like on that ground level where it's harder to see. I think if you're at the upper levels, it's okay because you can still get a good view. But yeah, the ground level. But like I say, but if you're behind that goal, electricity,
the best. It's like the free throw thing. Like you can like wave your hands up and go crazy. Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's good. So, but yeah, that was the first game. I would say probably disappointing tournament for Germany. And this sort of goes into the discussion we had. Germany losing their last group stage game 2-1 to Ecuador. Came in, was probably had good momentum, came in with bad momentum with that loss, and it is my concern for the USA. We lost that last game against Turkey, going against Bosnia and Herzegovina. We'll talk a little bit about it, but it's my concern.
Yeah, no concern I have as well, and it's even something. Ryan's hot take for the tournament was US was going to win the whole World Cup, and my first remarks back to him was, "Gosh, I hope the momentum isn't killed after that last minute goal tonight," and that was back against Turkey. So yeah, it's something I think on our minds, but we'll see how it goes forward. And then when it comes to Germany, disappointing. That was my favorite, so that sucks. Feels like my my March Madness top dog is already out, but plenty of teams to root for that I'm really excited about. This tournament is absolutely impeccable, and can't believe it took me 34 years of life to do this. But it's it's insane, and honestly, I do feel like Germany scored all their goals in that first match, and it was just they disappeared.
Yeah, disappointing tournament for them. Adidas, if you do a sale on their jerseys, I'll still go buy one. If you do it for like $20, I'll get that tomorrow. Just because they are
Solid.
still sweet uniforms they got. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Next game, that was today, the last one, Netherlands versus Morocco. Same thing, went 1-1, went into PKs. Morocco winning this one 3-2. A lot of misses on this one. I think the Morocco goalie did a bit of work, but after that, it was just players missing it. And like I say, bright lights. It's tough on these players.
Very tough. The one that really sticks out to me is the Netherlands goalie stopping it, and then he adjusts his legs at the end and it goes in. And that sucks. Like, you did all that work, you stopped it, the ball was stopped, and then you moved your damn legs and it went in. Not a fault of his own. I mean, that at least I would put much blame on him. But yeah, a lot of misses, a lot off the posts. There was one that I think went like a mile and a half over the goal, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it just seemed like a lot of the same. Just overthinking it. Had trouble putting in the back of the net. There was some really solid looking goals. The way that Morocco finished it out was, really sweet corner of the goal shot. But yeah, crazy. Great match overall, though. I did really enjoy it. Morocco being able to have that late goal to send it into PKs. I mean, again, talk about momentum. One of those things, Netherlands, kind of thought probably they had it in the bag, and then, yep, it happens just like that.
Yeah. Yeah. In this tournament now, the round of 32 going into the quarters, semis, all that, you can't be too comfortable no matter how big of a goal lead, no matter how much defense you can play. You can put all your players back there. It just takes one mistake to win it or to lose it. So Netherlands, I think, got a little too comfortable towards the end, thinking that they were close to winning it. And then Morocco, perfect cross, because like I say, Armando, our buddy Bondo, mentioned it in the chat. Like, Netherlands, they're built of giants. Those guys are tall, so Morocco wasn't able to do anything in the air, but with that cross, I was like, it had to be perfect. It was perfect, and that's why they were able to score that goal. Because if it wasn't, if it was a millimeter off or like a centimeter off, it wouldn't have been the same outcome. Netherlands would have been able to put a head on it, clear it out, and it would have probably been the Netherlands winning this. So, big win for Morocco. I will say, telling Vera, Mexico fans in Mexico are happy about this outcome because they're still very bitter about the tournament 8 years ago, was it maybe?
I think that's right.
The no era penal, the penalty kick that wasn't a penalty that Netherlands got to eliminate Mexico from the tournament. Um, I would say Mexico got revenge today.
For sure. Yeah, no, they certainly did. Definitely saw that broadcasted in the group chats today. Gosh, that might have even already been 12 years now that I think of it.
Yeah, it could be.
A little, but yeah, one that lives on. You're exactly right. Good reference there, John. It's crazy because the memes after that one was insane. Everybody was talking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's great match overall. Both teams, God, could have won either way, but that's. I mean, this round has been phenomenal so far.
Yeah.
In the 4 matches we've seen.
Yeah, it's been good. So I think the one disappointing thing with the Netherlands losing, that fan base going back home, that was an amazing fan base to see them doing their march, their double decker bus, all the orange with the smoke. Amazing fan base to watch just in videos that I've seen.
Yeah, it was, and that was one of Jameis's famous, times as well in this World Cup with being in the crowd, dancing, interviewing. He was having the time of his life. So yeah, disappointing overall, but we still have some good fan bases left, of course. But that was a really solid one. I love seeing their orange buses go through town to town as well. That was a joy.
Yeah, it was good. So disappointing for that, but upcoming matchups. We got tomorrow. We got 3 games. We got Ivory Coast, Norway. I think this is going to be a great game. Ivory Coast is a team I told you to watch out for, that they were going to play well. They've been playing really well. And then Norway, they got Holland. They got that machine, that monster. Going to be a very exciting game to watch.
Yes, this is one that I totally will not be watching at work. But definitely, definitely one that Holland's just that guy you tune in for. He's just somebody that makes you want to watch. And I've seen so many great videos mimicking his running stance and how he ducks his head and just looks like he's ready, just like he's just going to come annihilate you. And it looks scary. So much fun to watch. But like you said, Ivory Coast, don't play them down, and they've looked really good so far. So it's gonna be a really great match.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good matchup. Then we got France versus Sweden. Sweden performed really well in this tournament, but France did what France does. Should be an easy matchup, I would say, for France, but the way this tournament's gone already, the first 2 days, you can't doubt any team, or you can't guarantee a team winning.
Yeah, for sure. Don't live anybody down. Don't get too cocky going into it, and kind of think about Mbappe with that statement. I saw him hand his captain's tag off to a referee to go bring it down to another player. Like he didn't even hand it over himself. I don't know, man. Again, stuff can happen fast. Look at the teams today, and it could be you, France. Not saying it's going to be, because you guys are a fantastic team, but it's that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, so it makes it fun. And then the big game tomorrow, I think a lot of us will be watching, Mexico versus Ecuador. Big game. It's in Mexico. I think Mexico's favorite, but Ecuador is a team that they're on this momentum high, beating Germany, a world champion, and making it into the groups. Ecuador has a lot of momentum, so Mexico has to be careful. I think it'll be a good game. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I don't want to predict scores because it's just so hard.
I don't want to predict scores either. There's too much family attachment to this one, and if I if I jinx something, it's not going to go well. So I won't say a winner either. But I think it's going to be a very fun match, and I'm very thrilled it's in that evening time slot for us. So yeah, one to definitely key into. Hopefully, talk about momentum. Mexico's momentum looks very good.
Yeah, no, it does. So we'll see how that one goes. Then tomorrow we got England versus the Congo, DR Congo. Should be a simple match for England just based off matchup, but I heard a little bit about it today. And who knows if this was sort of also had to do with why they lost. Germany versus Paraguay. That was in Boston. Heard it was very hot. Heard Paraguay was very comfortable, but Germany was going to be struggling with that heat. Um, England, I don't know where the England game is, but they were already complaining about the heat. If it's in a place that it could be very hot, around that, 10 a.m. here, it's probably like 12-1 out East Coast. That could be tough for them because I don't know if they're in Dallas or are they KC?
Looking now, Atlanta, indoor.
Indoor. Okay. Lucky.
It's hot outside. Very muggy.
It's hot outside. Yeah.
Muggy city for sure.
Yeah.
In the south. Got lucky. There was we have a commenter, I believe it's on Instagram, that has that really questioned our England take to begin the tournament. And they're like, "Oh, you do realize that like they're like a top team in this World Cup?" And we're like, "Yeah, but they just can't handle the humidity. It's a big deal." And then I think after, because they lost this last match, correct?
No, they won. They won 2-0, but okay. it wasn't that impressive of a win.
The middle match, then I believe they tied. It might have been the draw. So then I think after that one, he kind of commented back, he or she, saying like, "Oh, how's this aging?" And I'm like, "Oh, I think it's going okay. Like, they're drawing matches. They don't look overly outstanding." So, again, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They're just lucky they're inside. I think that's nice for them.
They're indoor. Like I said, it should be a win, but we would have said that about Germany, Paraguay. Germany's an even better team than England, and you can't just go off of how great you are or how high you're ranked in this tournament. So we'll see. But then we got Belgium versus Senegal. This one I think will just be a great matchup. Both teams are pretty solid. I would say Belgium probably wins this one, but Senegal's been playing pretty decently as well. So, like I said, Belgium's coming with some momentum right now after a big win versus New Zealand.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this will be a really good match. We saw a whole lot of what Belgium can do last week going up against the All Whites. But yeah, Senegal, one of those teams we kind of talked quite a bit of time about them in our preview, just being one of those threatening teams. They play really well, and yeah, let's see what happens. Again, I can see why you're leaning maybe towards Belgium a bit. Belgium played, pretty well this tournament, so yeah.
We'll see. And then the last game on Wednesday will be USA versus Bosnia. Big game. Honestly, this game scares me a lot more now than it did. I think at first I felt very confident in it. I still feel pretty confident, but the loss that we had, momentum killer. I know the momentum could really hurt. Christian Pulisic not looking good, and then honestly, a lot of people are doubting Bosnia. I'm hearing. I don't know if you've seen that one news reporter that sort of was reporting on this game, the preview to it, and is like, "Oh, I don't even know where Bosnia is on the map."
Everybody's looking that up right now. Yes,
everybody's burning that chick, and it's like you don't say that kind of stuff because that's just giving them fuel to destroy us. And Bosnia is a team. I think I mentioned also at the beginning of the tournament. is a team to watch out for. This is a team that could make a run. They have solid players. One of their young, stars on Bosnia, he's U.S. born. He has Bosnian parents, so he had that dual, pathway, and he decided to go to Bosnia instead of USA. So this is a revenge game for him too.
Absolutely. Yeah. ABC reporter Abigail Velez couldn't point it out on a map. Don't, again, we talk a lot of crap on here. We do, but you see how we're leading a lot of these games, John. We're constantly saying don't live down your opponent, and we're known to talk banter on the rocks, hence the name. And even we're doing that. So it's especially on live TV. It's like, and then I also heard the owner of ABC is Bosnian, so it's like your boss's boss's boss.
Oh man,
tread lightly. Be careful. Yeah, in it's not like we're going to go around and test people where we think Bosnia is. I know it's a lot of countries in Europe, but again, not something to live down. Bosnia got to where they're at now for a reason, and this is the team that knocked out Italy as well, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Good team.
So yeah,
and can do it in PKs, right? Because they beat Italy in PKs.
Yeah,
if it gets there too.
Yeah. It's a scary thing to think of. I'm hoping we could destroy them, beat them. USA takes this win easily because the route USA has to get into the round of 16 and then the quarters is a little easier, and it could be the furthest we ever go. But we will have a challenge eventually if things go the way the script's supposed to go. So hopefully it's a win, but I like Bosnia. I've always, in the back of my mind, have been scared of this team, and having it be against us, and like I said, the loss we had last game scares me a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially the way it ended. Just never say never. It's one of those things. Do you know where we're playing this game by chance?
This one is
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
Very nice.
I think Chris is trying to get to it.
Good for him. Yeah, you should try to go. It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
packed.
Good game right there. Packed. Yeah. So, but that's July 1st. July 2nd, we got Spain versus Austria. Should be, like I say, easy win for Spain. Spain's a top team. Austria played well towards the end of the tournament, so a team not to look down on, but Spain has just better quality, better game. Portugal versus Croatia. I think this will be an amazing game. Like I say, Croatia is an older veteran team that's still very solid. And like I mentioned, Portugal, the squad, when you look at the lineup, when you look at the names on there, the starters and the bench, should be World Cup contending. But the way they've played, not overly impressed.
Yeah, not overly impressed. It's just one of those. It's how much can you rely on Ronaldo at 41 years old? Clearly not a lot. Look at last match. It's can bring up a lot of question marks. How's the team around him? It's good, but are they good enough to make it through a team like Croatia? It's a lot of question marks. And, I hope we do see Portugal advance, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they don't, based off of how the tournament's gone so far, and they don't look, overly powerful or outstanding necessarily. And so it could be a great match altogether.
Yeah, it'll be a good match altogether. I didn't mention this when talking about Ronaldo. Speed on his live stream mentioned, he said if Ronaldo wins against Colombia, he's the greatest of all time. Like pretty much doors closed. Like nothing else to talk about. Didn't happen. Gives more just ammo for Messi being the greatest. But I'll leave it there. We'll go to Switzerland versus Algeria. This game, I think, is probably one of one of the two maybe least eventful games, but I think will still be good because both teams want to advance and hoping for a Cinderella story. Um, but yeah, like I say, I know a little bit about Switzerland. They played pretty well, won their group against Canada. Um, yeah, that's I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another game to watch, another match to watch. Let's kind of emulate what you just said, John. Because if you don't know a whole lot, I'm not pulling anything out of the woodworks on this
Ah,
one either. So again, another match to watch. They got here for a reason.
mhm.
Teams are going to be good, and it'll
Ah,
be enjoyable.
yeah, it'll be enjoyable. All of these games will be pretty good, I think. Next one, July 3rd, the last three games of this round of 32 before the round of 16. Australia versus Egypt. This will be a good game. Australia is one of those teams like New Zealand, where New Zealand was maybe a few years ago. They weren't a top team, but they developed their players, and now they're always a team to be scared of and watch out for. So, and then Egypt winning a game finally in the World Cup, making it to the next round. Mo Salah playing amazing. Um, could he take him further in his probably last tournament ever? We'll see. So I think this will be a really good game on Australia versus Egypt.
Yeah, no, I think that this one will be really exciting. Didn't Australia make it to the round of 16 last go around as well?
I think
If I'm
so.
not mistaken. They
Yeah.
advanced pretty far, and it's a team that, has solid talent. It's one that, a lot of people are saying don't let the US live them down. US did handle business at that point in time, but again, Australia's a team that can hang in there. They won well their first match, and again, you nailed it with Egypt. We saw them quite a bit, with going up against the Kiwis, and really solid team. Mo Salah, yeah, he's a beast. Not somebody to take lightly at all. Even though technically retired from the EPL, but dude has skill. He's a
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. It'll be good. So uh, then we have Argentina versus Cape Verde. Like I said, this is a game Argentina should be able to handle easily, but Cape Verde kept Spain 0-0. You get to PKs. PKs is a 50-50 chance. Like I say, Cape Verde eliminates Argentina. I know Rob will talk smack saying Ronaldo's better if he gets through this round. Um, but hats off to Cape Verde if they could do it. Like I said, build monuments in Cape Verde for them. Name streets after all these players.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, yeah, might as well. It's just one of those teams that has been just outstanding. It's been that Cinderella-esque type story that goes on. Find a little bit more out about each of these players. Hopefully, a lot more opportunities coming up for them even after this tournament if it doesn't go their way. Certainly, Argentina's game match to lose in this one, especially when you're going to be having the goat play most of this game and not on the bench. He makes his difference. He makes his presence known
Mm-hmm.
when he's on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not everybody can do that.
yeah. Not everybody can. we
This
won't.
is
We
not
won't.
smart.
We won't name names.
Not at all. Not here.
But not here. Not right now. We've mentioned him too much on the podcast already.
Yeah.
Last game of the round of 32, Colombia versus Ghana. This is going to be a very interesting game, I think. Colombia, solid squad, played really well. But Ghana is one of these teams that I think you can't doubt, you can't look at lightly. And they're a very physical team. So I think it'll be a tough one for Colombia. I still think Colombia gets out of this game, should win it, but I wouldn't doubt if this goes into extras.
Yeah. It would be a fun match if it does decide to go into extras. You talked a lot about Ghana, being one of those great sleeper teams, dark horse-esque teams, and here we are. It's a team that's made it this far. They've been extremely good, and Colombia again. I think I watched most of their match this past week, and they're always good. They're always competitive. Very tight knit, good squad. A lot of the players have been there for a little bit of time, right? Like I know it's not how you pronounce his name, but James.
Hummus.
Been there for years, right?
James Rodriguez, yeah.
Yes, been there for years. He's just one of those names, and he's Colombia. It's going to be a great match. I'm excited for that one too.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. So, but yeah, that's just going into the round of 32. By the time we get on here again for our next episode, we'll already be into some of the games of round of 16, because the first games of the round of 16 will start Saturday, 4th of July. Big fireworks that day, so we'll keep you guys updated and prep you for the last few rounds, because I think our next episode is probably leading up into close to the finals. I think we'll make some predictions, sort of see how things are going, but overall, like I said, Tim, we've talked a lot about it. You've mentioned it here, and I want to get your feedback. You've gone 34 years never watching World Cup or being as into it as you are now. What would you say to other people that maybe are doubting the World Cup still?
Man, make the dive. Start up a podcast before. Get talking about it. Get amped up, and then just choose a country. In this, and I'm not just saying that because of our experience. I'm a big fan of Cinderella stories. I like the storylines. March Madness is a big place for it here in the States. But I just have a lot of fun picking a random team, learning more about them, and just kind of moving along with them. And I feel like you get a ton of that throughout this tournament. And that's exactly how I chose the Wolves. It has some relation to my last name, but also it's they were in dead last and by a lot. But you learn more about the team. You're in it for the ride, and I think kind of devoting that much attention and time into something, you're bound to really grasp on and start loving it. And I think that's what happened. So, even just watching these side leagues, like if you're in the States, watch the MLS or, La Liga or, Mexican League, whatever. Honestly, just pick up a team. Doesn't matter who it is. Start supporting them. And then once the World Cup comes around, it's like, it's your support for that team, but on crack. And it's just the best. And it's just this tournament altogether, the way it's formatted, the different stadiums they go to, the fan interaction, it's unlike anything. You see, it's like the Super Bowl every game. And it's freaking sweet. So it's a great atmosphere, a bunch of really cool people, and great teams and players that you get to learn about. So yeah, I make the dive. It's worth it. Even if you haven't played like me, I played a handful of times in life for fun, but it's make the dive. It's worth it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's an awesome sport, and like I say, I'm not just saying it because I played it. I love it. It's a sport I've seen that brings a lot of people together in good ways. Yes, some of these games you go to could be very bad experiences, when there's a lot of fights. Some fan bases are rowdy, but like I say, I think what we've experienced this year with the podcast, like I say, start a podcast, start talking about it. It could help a little bit, open up some doors, some opportunities to talk to other people. But like us having a podcast, going to a gaming experience and meeting new people has opened up a lot for me as well. Because like I say, I've been to games before, but going to a World Cup game, like you say, it's going to a normal game, supporting LAFC, supporting Manchester United, but on crack, because it's just so many people that are there for the love of the sport, love of that environment, and that in that moment, that it's just a friendly place. Because like I say, Vera, before this, almost like you, would hear about soccer here and there, but never really cared for it. We went to this New Zealand-Iran game. She's a big fan of New Zealand, but she's been watching all the games. She's dedicated, it gets into it, and it's like we helped develop the new fan and someone that's interested in this, and if I ever just tell her, let's go watch this LAFC game, she'll probably go and understand it a lot better. And like I say, it's just a fun way to connect. And yeah, find a team right now, whatever league you want to pick. Throw a dart to a map, wherever it lands. Find a league, and find a team in that league that's around that area or near there, and just watch them play. Support them, get that rush, and it'll prep you for the World Cup in 4 years.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and we talked about it too with, even Ryan and Brad last week. There's ways that you can find, a way to watch these games too. It's you can research the team, so it doesn't really matter necessarily what team you choose. There will be ways you can do it, and that's what's awesome. There's plenty of ways to do it. There's plenty of teams out there. There's no wrong choice. It's what you choose and what you choose to follow, and it's a ton of fun along the way. And then you can learn some chants, some rowdy stuff to do. It's a good old time. So it's well worth it. It's a crap ton of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So hopefully this World Cup has opened up eyes to a lot more people. We talked about it last week. This World Cup, the soccer isn't the only thing that's been big news. It's the fans, all the videos we've seen, the way social media is now. And I think it's developed a lot of new fans, brought the sport to more eyes, and probably one of the biggest World Cups in history. We'll see how the next few are. But the way the state says it, you got to be impressed. You could talk smack about us. You could talk smack about how we even prepped leading up to this World Cup. But what the United States, Mexico, and Canada have done for this World Cup, it's been amazing. So hopefully everybody's enjoyed it as much as we have.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. And it certainly seems that way. And it's also really nice that a lot of, people from elsewhere get to come in, enjoy North America for the way that we see it, and not the way it's always portrayed. So
yeah, but that's our Wolfpack check-in. We'll go into our Banter Sportsbook. So this is where we put our sports knowledge, predictions, reputation on the line. We'll talk from the biggest games, hottest storylines to championship races. We'll talk surprise contenders, trades, bold predictions. We're covering everything that happens across the sports world that sort of hits our desk. No betting slips required here, just sports talk, strong opinions, plenty of banter. If you want our takes on what we think who's going to win what, you can let us know, but we'll open up our books. Biggest news, probably just NBA wise, John Morant getting traded today to the Portland Trail Blazers. Blazers received John Morant. Grizzlies received Jeremiah Grant and Chris Murray. Big move, not surprised with the move. I think we've all looked at John Morant probably needing to be out of Memphis. Memphis got rid of all their top players, from what I could tell now, huh?
Clean slate.
Clean slate.
Yep. Got Boozer, and I don't know if I can name another Grizzly right now.
I don't think I can either.
It's totally new. Probably good for them because they were competitive but not winning with the squad they did have. Blazers, on the other hand, I think are making a step in the right direction. It's a team that was far more competitive than I would have ever guessed. I think many people would have guessed. And now all of a sudden they have quite the squad. Scoot Henderson, early pick, Klingon, early pick that is, a great big. They have Dame still.
Yeah. Denny
Avdija, how could I forget? Absolute beast. Much more than a 6-man now. And there's a lot to kind of like look at as far as this team goes to be very competitive once more. West is obviously a really tough conference with a number of teams there, but honestly, I think that the way that they're positioning themselves is really good. And as far as a John Morant standpoint, I think that this is better for him if he can not let the off the court stuff get in the way and focus on game. He's still incredibly young, and can really show a lot of what he has. So we'll see what side of Ja we get, but hopefully he kind of gets back to what he did in his college days, because it was a fun watch.
Yeah, I hope this is a good move for Ja, a new environment, because he is a great player. When he was at that All-Star level peak without the legal outside of the NBA trouble and even inside the NBA trouble, people loved his game. I liked his game. He was a baller, and let's see if this move to Portland is good for him. Get him into that new environment. Um, yeah, I like what the Trailblazers are doing. If Dame could come back healthy, he pretty much had all of last year off. Only did pretty much, I think, the 3-point shootout, right, for the All-Star break. That's all he
Yeah, I think that's
really
right.
that's all he competed in. Like,
Hmm.
if he could come back and just be that veteran piece that's well established within the NBA, this could be a team that could make a run. The West is a tough conference, could get tougher depending on how some of these trades that might be going on, free agent signings that start tonight, midnight, or Tuesday, June 30th. Um, it'll be interesting to see, but Blazers are a team to watch out for. And like I say, both of our teams being in the West just makes it tougher for us. Because like I say, that's another team we got to worry about now.
Story of the last 15 years at least for us. Just how ultra competitive the West is compared to the East. It lives on. But yeah, it's just another team to kind of be wary about. Yeah, that team that kind of slides into the playoffs and becomes a threat. Can't forget they have Drew Holiday with the Blazers too.
Yeah.
Great vet.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's one of the big trades that have happened. There's a lot of rumors still. A big name out there, Jaylen Brown. That one's going to happen, I think, most likely. I don't think Boston's going to re-sign him, even though it's a great duo. Think he's just ready to move on. Where he goes, I don't know. I hear a lot of stuff. I just don't know what team. I would have expected Miami for a bit. Um, Portland maybe, or not Portland, Memphis now maybe could make a move for him. That'd be a good matchup with the Boozer. Yeah, and any rumblings that you've heard?
Warriors were speculated, but they're now involved in some other big names that we'll get into momentarily. But I don't know if that'll happen. I think that an interesting team that I think has some money to spend, and they were kind of in the running for a guy like Trae Young, might be the Chicago Bulls. Maybe make a slight run. They're in a weaker division, obviously. Jaylen Brown would get the keys to the team pretty much. And then there's some decent elements around the Bulls. That could, him going to that team could instantly make them a threat. So possibility of them. Trying to think of who else. I don't know if the Rockets are in play with some of their assets, but I don't know if they want to trade a lot of their youngs. The Suns, a trade that we didn't mention was a couple with the Hornets. One being LaMelo Ball to the T-Wolves. That trade, mind-boggling in my opinion. The Hornets absolutely fleeced that trade. And I do like LaMelo Ball, but it doesn't, from the Wolves' perspective, it makes zero sense. Have two ball dominant guards on a team with the French Stifle Tower, and then you gave away your future with all those firsts that you gave away for LaMelo. Head scratcher. I don't get that one. I think Ant would probably want out, to be honest with you. And then I bring up the Houston Rockets because of, I bring up the Suns because they just traded for Miles Bridges. Mm-hmm. You have Devin Booker. You have, and then the possibility of adding a guy like Jaylen Brown. All of a sudden, the Suns become really good again. So interesting. I think that's a possibility. Houston's thrown out there because I don't know, KD. I don't know, for some reason I feel like KD's going to go somewhere else,
Yeah.
and maybe it's to the Wolves. Maybe the Wolves can get him on the cheap. I don't know.
Yeah. I've heard some rumors. KD Washington. We'll see.
With what they're trying to do there, especially with Dimanyansa. Interesting, but I think it makes them a little bit scarier if they end up giving AD the max. But I don't know who really wants to give AD a max right now because he's
I don't think. I don't think many people will. So like I say, I haven't heard too much on Jaylen Brown, KD. The Miles Bridges to the Suns doesn't make the Suns a little scarier. Uh, Same with you, LaMelo. I like him. Doesn't make sense for I think Minnesota. What they're trying to do there, who knows? We'll see if it's a genius move or a bonehead move. Like I say, if they lose Ant over this trade, fire the entire organization, just restart from fresh because you just let go a big piece of the future. So we'll see, but I know the one rumor with my team, Kawhi possibly going back to Toronto, making a trade for that. Wouldn't hate it, depending on who we would get back. And if we could just get back some draft assets, I think, like I said, Kawhi's reaching that end of his career. Is he ready to move on from the spotlight here in LA? Maybe. I'm okay with our young core just starting a rebuild.
Yeah. In Wagler's, I think, going to be absolutely legit. So I think the Clips are in a good position. And then, the assets that you guys got from the Pacers in that trade as well, it makes you guys even more of a threat. So, and then also what you guys got from Cleveland. It's a pretty sweet gig that you guys got going there. So, Clippers are well on their way. And honestly, it's probably a time to sell on Kawhi. I don't know how much is left in the tank. Played a little bit more than usual this past season.
We got to sell him while he's high. Like I said, right now his price tag is high because he ended the season looking amazing, prime Kawhi, and let's sell it before an injury or load management starts happening again.
Yeah, no, 1,000% makes all the sense in the world. And then speaking of teams, I wore the Warriors hat for a reason. There's a couple things I need to say. One is I want to bring good juju with the hat. I want us to build a supporting cast for Steph's final years in the league. He signed a shoe deal. This dude's ready. He's ready to play several more years, I think. The big rumors are obviously LeBron James, full free agent here in about 10 minutes, midnight, and Draymond Green opted out of his contract. Obviously, will re-sign, but at a lower rate, and this is a move, and that's kind of what's seen as step one in hopes of making more room in the cap to sign a guy like LeBron James. And then there's other talk about Anthony Davis. If he doesn't get a max from the Wizards, that he will be looking elsewhere. And that's something that both he and Rich Paul have discussed with the Wizards. So we know, obviously, the connection of Rich Paul. And it seems like AD and LeBron would probably want to team up again, and no better spot. And LeBron that video is being played back over and over again of a guy he wants to play with. And he said Steph Curry. Can't blame him. Who wouldn't want to play with him? The stars align. I will shut my mouth about LeBron for an entire season.
What?
That might be really tough.
That could be a tough one.
Might backtrack it slightly. If he has a bad game, I might talk some shit. But if I will defend him tooth and nail, though, if he joins forces with Steph Curry, like if he's there complaining on the court about a call, and if you come at me, John, and you say that he's flopping, I will argue with you. And I will say, no, that is not flopping. It's legit. No, he's actually hurt. And then he gets up and runs right after. His lack of defense is because he hustled so much before that. See, I already have the defensives up. So if he does not do this, then he will just be how he is in my mind up to this point. So again, really excited about that. Hopefully that's a possibility. We had a good draft. I think that's the biggest news. Haven't seen much else, but I think things are about to take off tonight.
You gonna join the LeBron book club if he joins?
Well, that's a pretty easy one because you only have to like open one page and stare at it for about 5 minutes, acting like you're reading. I did a really good job of that in high school, so I think I could probably pull it off again. You know,
yeah.
Bronze book club.
Yeah, I would say if that happens, those stars align. Probably somewhat early season favorites to win it all. I think with that trio plus what you guys already have on that team, your draft pick was a good draft pick as well. I think will contribute quite well to the team. So yeah, if it happens, kudos to you. We'll see. We'll see how you feel after one season though, because who knows? Maybe this season will go really badly and you might take back the nice LeBron comments.
Yeah. One thing is, I think Draymond will be kind of tempered to an extent because of like LeBron kind of runs his shit, I feel like, and like Draymond has always seemed kind of like a kiss ass to him. Yeah. So it's I think that could work out decently. I don't think he's gonna decide to punch anybody in the face necessarily. He better not get anywhere near Anthony Davis though, knowing like, dude, if he hurts a finger, he can go out in a wheelchair. Like, just relax. Take it easy. Yeah. But yeah, no, the team's looking solid. Oh, one thing I don't like. Maybe he's part of a trade. I don't know. Kristaps Porzingis, 2 years, $40 million to get. He's getting paid $20 million a year for like 40 games. Don't love it. Don't love it. But you know, he's a big name.
But when he plays well, and if he could stay healthy, good piece.
Very good piece. Very good piece. One person I will be sad to see leave is Jimmy Buckets. He's most certainly would be involved with the deal to get AD. So, but again, bad injury last season. So it's something that, you know, it's hate to see him leave, but understand.
Part of the game.
But yeah, if we could also trade pods, I would like that too. It'd be really good because I don't need pods like doing that thing like he did last season and trying to walk in. Like if you see LeBron, Steph, Dre, and AD talking to each other and he's starting to like butt in, that's gonna piss me off. It's gonna really piss me off.
So you want pod on this trade or just a release?
Yeah, if we could send him across the country. That sounds good. Yeah. Send him to Washington.
Yeah. Careful though. Anytime you guys have sent players away, they've performed.
That's true. Kuminga. Yeah. That was the only downside of like me thinking about all this, and I thought about it with the possibility of getting JB. But it made me think like, damn, we got rid of our assets for pennies last season. So, and then Trace Jackson Davis, who we sent to Toronto, is re-signing there as well for good reason. He's a good player. Yeah, not hasn't been great. Clay's the only one that has been okay leaving because he's old.
Yeah, he's older. He's not the same Clay, but
talk about FOMO with that guy though, huh? if he sees everybody teaming up, maybe he'll come back.
Who knows? Hey, vet minimum.
Yeah,
vet minimum.
Yeah,
just shoot a few threes here and there. You'll do okay.
6 attempts a game. If he makes 2 of them, we'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's about it for Banter Sportsbooks. Like I say, World Cup still is very dominant. Got probably like 2 more weeks of this before it ends. So yeah, well, like I said, but we'll always report any new news, any big things we do see. But yeah, that's Banter Sportsbooks. We'll go on to Real on the Rocks. This is where we talk movies, TV shows, streaming hits, theater releases, and everything happening in the world of entertainment. Whether we're reviewing the latest blockbuster, breaking down binge-worthy series, reviewing a classic, or testing our movie knowledge with a few games along the way, nothing is off limits. Some reviews will be thoughtful, some opinions will be controversial, and a good chance we'll end up arguing about a movie one of us actually enjoyed. So grab some popcorn, pour yourself a drink. Let's roll with the reels. And the summer movie bash check-in. There was one movie that happened this past weekend. It was Supergirl, one of my movies, and I will say I am disappointed. Very disappointed on how it did. In my review
numbers,
as well.
Brief numbers. Oh, boy.
Yeah, very disappointed overall with this film. Overall, made a total of 37,102,018. Not the kind of numbers a DC movie should be making at all, but
bummer.
Big bummer. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting it to make a shitload of money, but I expected at least 60 to 70K maybe, or million. Not even there. So my total, or we'll start with your total because it's on top. You're at 207,603,782 with the Odyssey and Moana left. I'm at 251, 116, 481 with Spider-Man and Minions and Monsters left. I think I need Minions and Monsters to really get me at least 80K to keep me in it, because it's gonna get really close. Like I say, Moana. I think the big question mark for your movie Moana will be the question mark. But like I mentioned, a Disney movie sometimes does pretty well, even though there's not much hype about it. Moana is a family. It's a movie a lot of people like, a lot of kids like. People take their kids to it and enjoy the animation. So, and it's summertime, so people are gonna go watch it. So
one quick thing about Moana is I was surfing through the Rock's page today. Big fan of the Rock. Shout out the Rock. If you ever want to be a guest, we would probably be speechless the whole time and just let you talk, because good Lord. But yeah, saw him getting on his private jet. I believe he started in China, and then he went to New Zealand. And when he went to New Zealand, he got together with all of the top social media influencers in the country, and it was for the premiere of Moana. And then I think he made his way over to Australia, and he's been all overseas over there. I think just watching his tour has got me really amped up for the movie. And I think it's going to be a pretty big deal. So I'm a big believer. Not going to jinx it too much here, but I feel the aura coming around, and I'm pretty excited. Not going to lie. And also, quick shout out to Ryan and Brad for holding you hostage on last Thursday so you couldn't catch the Supergirl premiere. And I felt like that might have brought a small amount of juju to it.
It could have. So, yeah, overall, it's going to be, I think it'll be a tight race towards the end. I still think the biggest movie of the summer will be the Odyssey. Gonna make billions, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks some, like I say, Toy Story did what, 160 around that, with one weekend. Odyssey should double to for sure, maybe triple that in one weekend.
Part of me also thinks you're saying that to bring a bad hex on it.
No, I'm not.
You're not saying that at all.
No, because honestly, I will be contributing to that pile because I will be watching opening weekend.
Can't believe it's great. It's going to be great.
But like I said, I think my other hope is Spider-Man. A lot of hype for Spider-Man. So that's my last. That's the last movie of this tournament for us. So after Minions, Odyssey, Moana, I'll have an idea of what Spider-Man needs to make. Depending on what the number is, I will tell you if I feel realistic about it or I might give up. I won't give up. I'll see what it does, but likelihood.
I think Spider-Man's going to do really good. I think it'll. That's why I'm worried. I'm so worried. Like even with these numbers with Supergirl, like yeah, that helps. You still have a pretty good gap on me right now. So I do have concerns. Everybody likes the minions as well. But yeah, I definitely want to hear your review of Supergirl. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
yeah. The Supergirl overall decent movie. Did so. I went. I think I saw it. What was it? Friday night, maybe. Was it Friday night? I don't even know my days. Everything's getting mixed up. But I liked it. I enjoy watching the comic book movies. I will say I'm not too aware of the Supergirl comics. But like I say, it's part of this new DC universe with James Gunn, so I'm sort of curious how it was all going to start connecting. Story was okay. Some of the backstory for Supergirl, I appreciated. Gave me more info. I would say just wasn't an eventful movie. Was bored at times. The villain in this movie, yeah, not a fan. Probably one of the worst villains I've seen.
Oh my gosh.
They try to make it very comedic, which I understand why, but it wasn't getting me. I didn't enjoy it. Like I say, I don't know if that's how the character is supposed to be, if that's how this character is supposed to look like. I don't know this comic as well. So like I say, I'm not gonna address that as much. But overall, if you want to go watch this movie because you're just a fan of Supergirl, go for it. But if you're wanting to watch a good movie, wait till it's on HBO.
Ooh. Oh
Wait till it's on
man.
HBO. I'm
That's
sorry. I hate to say that. I hate to say that, but it is true. Wait till it's on
that's
HBO.
Mandalorian-esque then, because that's the other one that you gave a rating like this to.
Yeah. Like I say, I enjoy Star Wars, love The Mandalorian, but it's one I would have just preferred a Mandalorian season. Give me all of it in a whole season. Give me a little bit more too.
Makes sense. How many whiskey
Yeah.
glasses are you giving this one, John?
Giving this one 2.5.
Yeah, it's low. Ooh,
Yeah. So
man.
for me, like I say, if you're a decent movie, you're at about that 3.5 star, 3.5
Yeah.
whiskey glasses. This is a 2.5, almost 2, but I gave it a half. I really enjoyed Crypto. Reminds me of our doggo that we have here, Gunther. Looks just like him. This Halloween with Keanu will be Superman and Crypto. Gonna have
Very
them
nice.
walking around. So,
Like that.
um, so that's why I think I gave it that extra half glass. But after that, two and a half glasses total for whiskey glasses for this movie.
Yeah. What was the I mean, we can a little spoiler alert for everybody. What was wrong with the villain?
Just some of the
Looks?
comedy looks, like I say, looks are just weird. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I don't know. It just wasn't that great to me.
Got it. I
Yeah.
have to look it up after.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious now because now I do kind of want to laugh, and it makes me think of Doctor Evil because obviously, kind of wise guy, funny idiot in a film, villain type, and then quick shout out because we're on this confirmation of another Awesome
Yes,
Powers
Austin Powers. Yeah,
super
I think it's.
stoked.
I think it started filming already. I think I saw like a preview of like Doctor Evil with the crew. So
Yeah,
yeah,
hell
stoked
yeah,
about that one.
fat bastard coming
Um,
back.
maybe, we'll see. But yeah, I would say that that's what it is. I like I say, I can't comment too much if that's just like accurate comic book portrayal for this movie. But it just wasn't great for me. Yeah, 2.5 whiskey glasses. Wait till it's streaming. Um, doesn't help the DC universe as much. Jason Momoa's character, probably like the funniest pieces of the film.
Oh,
Great,
good.
made it great. But yeah,
He's great.
uh, if I could go back to Friday and pick a movie, I'd go watch Jackass.
Wow. If you could go back to when we chose movies and you could choose Jackass over this one, would you do it?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, not that far.
No, not that far, because I knew Jackass wasn't going to be a hit. I think I just would have enjoyed Jackass a lot more because it's a childhood piece. But movie wise, with what we're trying to do of what makes the most, Supergirl I think still outperformed Jackass probably by like 15 million. So
Okay.
like I say,
Yeah.
but like I say, enjoying wise, I probably would have enjoyed Jackass more than this.
Yeah. No, I mean, makes sense. We grew up on Jackass, funny films. But yeah, as far as the game piece, it takes a certain crowd to go watch those movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Much less broadened than Supergirl is, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
And then didn't get the popcorn bucket, huh?
No, they sold out of that amazing popcorn bucket with the
bummer.
sweater that looked like something different. Dude, when I saw that one, I was just like, whoever created this, like, you are ballsy. And I literally ballsy to do that.
Where the that video I sent you where that guy was holding it, I'm like, man, you're just getting full effect. And then once they turned it around, and I'm like, there it is. That makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, if you look at it from one side,
it's just not a good look.
They didn't think it through.
Yeah, they had an idea probably in their minds. It worked out well because a lot of the promos was her in a jacket like that, but in a popcorn bucket or a drink cup, whatever the hell it was, not good. Not good at all.
Not good. And I think that's why I get a good kick out of popcorn buckets, because we've had some outrageous ones in the past that it's like, how much was it workshopped? Who looked this over and didn't think of it?
Yeah. I think if you have to compare the Dune one from the last Dune movie with
Dune one,
that one, and then this one, this one just takes it up a little bit of a notch. Dune one was bad already in some of the memes. This one just
just every wrinkle of the cape was there.
Every wrinkle of the cape was literally there.
Yeah. A job well done.
No. But they were sold out, Tim. I'm sorry. I would have had it if they had more, but they were sold out.
Bummer. I can see why.
Yeah, I can see why. But yeah, that's our banter reels for today. Like I say, I don't know if I'll get a chance to go watch the Minions. I'll try to give some momentum to my cause for this week, but hopefully hoping for a good weekend for Minions.
Yeah, 3-day weekend for a lot of folks. I might get pulled into it as well. So we'll see.
But that's gonna wrap up another episode of Banter on the Rocks for today. Thank you for everybody hanging out, bantering with us today. Your support keeps this thing going and growing every week. If you enjoyed the episode, do us a favor. Hit that subscribe, hit that follow button, leave a comment, and share what you thought about the show. Share the link to the shows with somebody that loves sports, movies, World Cup talk, and just chaotic debates. And as always, catch us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. And we're always live on Mondays, a majority of the time starting at 9:30 on TikTok and Twitch.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. It's incredibly motivating, the amount of support that we are getting, especially over these last couple weeks, even being able to speak with people that we never, would have thought we've been able to speak with so early on. And we really appreciate it. We know where it's coming from, and, and it's all of the wonderful listeners out there that take time out of their day to give us a listen, a watch, click on our clips, whatever it might be. But we appreciate it. We'll be here each and every week. We're having a ton of fun with it, and hope everybody enjoys your 4th of July ahead. Enjoy those fireworks.
Enjoy, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.